Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It's January 21st, 2024, and Real Betis, Balompie, and FC Barcelona just gave us an absolute show at the Benito Villamarin. Spectacular match, lots of back and forth, 6 amazing goals, including Real Betis' goals. Beautiful game. And with this match, Barcelona have taken a huge step forward because they did put on quite a performance to add to, again, the spectacle that we just saw, that we just witnessed in Sevilla. This is the post-match live analysis. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and this is the post-match live analysis where we discuss or where we analyze Barcelona's matches as soon as they end, where I also get to interact with people through the comment section, reading you guys' comments out loud, answering any questions and getting a discussion going. This is not to be confused with the Barca News podcast, which are in every Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I share Barcelona news and where I also get to interact with people through the chat section. I know I always say this, and you guys are probably sick and tired of me hearing this, but I have to explain it because even though I explain it in every live stream, I still get the same comment. Why are your videos so long? They're usually 10 minutes. Why is this 30, 40 minutes? I have to explain where it's a live stream, where I get to talk to people. Anyways, it seems like I'm going to have to explain it for the rest of my life. So here we go. Anyway, having said that, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All this helps the channel continue to grow. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kit bag. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, hopefully you did bet in favor of Barcelona today. Make sure you head to Bet Us, where they're currently having a special offers for all new signups. If you use my link, the link for kit bag and Bet Us are in the description. Now let's dive right into the match analysis, because incredible match by Barcelona, a huge step forward by Barcelona, who just defeated Real Betis 2-4 at Real Betis Stadium, Benito Villamarin, which is nothing to minimize, because I don't know why I forgot the word I was going to say. But anyways, very important accomplishment, because up until this point, Real Betis had not lost a single match in their home stadium since the beginning of La Liga back in August. I think it was August 2nd, August 4th, something like that. It's been many months that Real Betis have gone completely undefeated in their home stadium. This was a difficult stadium against a difficult opponent, because Real Betis always is a challenge for Barcelona. It's a team that's very pragmatic in their style of play. It's a team that likes the possession of the ball. So difficult opponent in a difficult stadium, who has gone undefeated for a very long time in their stadium. But yet Barcelona showed up. They played with intensity. They played with passion. They put on a good performance, and they got this very positive result. Again, 2-4 with a brilliant hat trick by our shark, Ferran Torres. Now, I was very happy with the team's performance. I'm not going to say Barcelona are fully back. They're playing like Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, not at all, but a huge step forward from the last few matches that we've had, or the last few weeks that we've been having, where the Barcelona played with a lot of intensity. They moved the ball quickly. There was great transitions from defense to offense, offense to defense. The whole team played as a unit. We saw the midfielders and the attackers all coming back to defend, switching real quick to attack. We saw the midfield using that interior corridors a lot more than before. Much faster, again, transitions, faster ball distribution, much better performance than before. There's still some areas that are lacking. For example, sometimes Barcelona would leave a lot of space in between their lines, which meant that the center backs would be left exposed. They had to cover a lot more area. There was also sometimes where the team would lose some concentration, where there's a lack of communication. But nonetheless, I want to focus on the positive things, because today Barcelona took a huge step forward as far as improving their overall performance, both defensively and offensively, and in their ball circulation. I also have to say, very impressed with the team's mindset, because the team was winning 2-0. We get scored on 2 goals right after each other, and now we're drawn 2-2. In any other match, Barcelona would have struggled mentally. They would have given up. They would have gotten nervous. They would have started making mistakes, and we could have easily lost that match. Not today. The team brushed off their shoulders. They got back up. They continue fighting. They continue playing. They scored 2 more goals, and they won the match. So this is not only a huge step forward as far as the team's overall performance, but a huge step forward as far as the team's mentality and the team's confidence and the team's attitude. Because again, any other time, any other match, maybe a week before, 2 weeks before the Christmas break, that draw, that 2-2, the 2 goals scored by Real Betis would have definitely finished us. Not this time. Barcelona getting back up, continued fighting, and winning this match. So very, very happy with Barcelona's performance. Again, we still have a lot more to do. We still have a lot more work to do, a lot more improvements to do. But today, we got to celebrate this victory. Today, we got to celebrate this improvement. And today, we got to celebrate this step forward that Barcelona just took. Now, let's do the chat section. Then I'll talk a little bit more. I want to talk about the goals. I want to emphasize some things that I saw about these goals. After that, we'll talk about the formation. We're also going to talk about the players. And then we're going to talk about one of the biggest robberies in the history of La Liga that we witnessed today in the Real Madrid match. I know this is a Barcelona channel. I usually don't like to talk about Real Madrid, but what we saw today is absolutely, and excuse my language, but it was absolutely a fucking disgrace. We're going to talk about it, but let's get back to the chat section first. I know the chat section is moving quickly, so let's see what you guys have to say. Let's see. Footy Crowd says a well-deserved win today, a definite man of the match performance by Ferran, and a well-deserved honorable mention to Lamine Yamal. I honestly have nothing negative to say. Great win and pretty good play. Pretty good play indeed. Great win indeed. Great step forward. I will talk about Ferran Torres and Lamine Yamal. By the way, La Liga named Isco man of the match. Go figure. Are you surprised? Because I'm not. But this is the Spanish League state today. Absolute disgrace. But anyways, let's move on. Let's continue with the positive vibes. Let's keep focusing on the positivity of today. And let me put on my glasses because seeing is important when it comes to reading. All right, Victor says, Real also struggled to win today against the bottom side in the league. So good game, Barca. They didn't struggle. They were gifted that win. Again, I'll talk about it later, but let's see. Chris says, Yamal was godly, Cubarsi impressed, Lewa was useless, but Roque clearly needs time. I'll talk about all of that. Chris also says Peña is good, but he won't come off the line. Leads to some goal chances that are not necessary if he clears. I'll talk about Peña too, because I did notice a couple of things. And my man Chuchu, who is in Barcelona, needs to take Bayern money. Chuchu, stop with the nonsense, man. I love you. I love that you're always in the channel, that you're always supporting, but let's stop with the nonsense. We're not going to sell Araujo. That would be the dumbest thing we could do. This is like saying we should have sold Messi back when he was here. Yeah, sure. So selling Messi would have made us hundreds of millions of euros, but it would have been the dumbest thing we could have done. The same thing with Araujo. Pretty dumb thing to do. Anyways, Chris says Ferran should thank his lucky stars for Yamal's generosity. Let's not take anything away from Ferran because he deserved his goals. He had a good performance. Let's not take anything away from him. Let's instead celebrate his performance. But anyway, let's get back into the match analysis. Let's talk about the goals. First goal, lucky because it was a bounce, but nonetheless, penetrating pass to Pedri, who sends it to Ferran and pushes it in. This is what we need to see more. This is what I always talk about that Barcelona are lacking. That's what I mean when I talk about mechanisms. Again, this was a little bit of lucky because it bounces off a Real Betis defender. But what I mean when I talk about mechanisms in place, when I talk about fast transitions, fast passes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when I also talk about using interior corridors, which Barcelona does not use. Barcelona always do the same thing. Pass the ball side to side, and then they open it up to the wingers, hoping that the wingers are going to solve their problems. But when you have wingers like Rafinha, when you have wingers like Ferran who can't really dribble past players, you can't do that. So the wingers end up passing the ball back. The same thing with Balde. They just give it to him, hoping he solves the whole problem. Balde's 19 years old. He's not going to solve the whole problem for you. He's still learning. He's still developing. He's still maturing. So we need to use the interior corridors more. That's exactly what the first goal was. Interior corridor pass, break it through the lines to Pedri, who pushes it to Ferran, who pushes it into the goal. That's what we need to be doing more. That's what we need to be practicing more during training instead of just doing the useless rondo. Like, rondos are important. The rondos are when they stand in a circle and they pass the ball really quick with two players in the middle trying to intercept the ball. That's obviously important part of the training because it helps you make much faster decision. It helps you move the ball a lot faster, but it has to have a purpose. You can't just train that with no purpose. You have to train that doing rondos with a purpose. Like, yeah, we're going to move the ball really quickly, but let's do it with a purpose to where, okay, I'm going to pass it to this guy passes that, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam, you're in the area. You have a clear chance of shooting goal. And that's exactly what the first goal was. Again, with a little bit of luck, but take out that aside. That's the kind of passes we need to be making. Really quick passes, break lines, get it to someone who can get it to someone else who can score a goal, right? That's what I'm talking about. Also, that goal highlights the importance of forward passes, which is something that Barcelona have not been doing for a very long time. What's a forward pass? Forward pass is when your attacker runs into the box, facing the opposing goal, and you pass the ball and you put it in front of him. So when he reaches the ball, all he has to do either kick it or pass it to someone else. Barcelona haven't done that all season. All of our passes are either sideways passes, or when we do a front pass, the attacker has his back to the opposing goal. So by the time the attacker turns around, guess what? He already has two defenders on him taking the ball. So very important thing that we need to be doing more often. We need to be doing those quick, fast transition passes that break through lines, and our forward passes are passes to our forwards who are facing the goal, not when their back are towards the goal. If we keep doing that over and over again, eventually we are going to score. Second goal, another goal by Ferran Torres. Brilliant run by Lamine Yamal, who grabs the ball on the side, dribbles past the whole defense all the way to the back line, and then makes the pass. This is the difference when you have a proper winger who knows how to dribble past players. This is what you see. This is what we're lacking. Why I criticize Rafinha a lot, and people are like, well, he scored goals, he provided assists, he's the best. No. What we need from our wingers is exactly what Lamine did today over and over again. Grab the ball on the wing, dribble past all the defenders, and then cross it. That's how the second goal was scored. And Lamine Yamal almost came very, very close to scoring a brilliant goal. Unfortunately, hit the post. It would have been an absolutely beautiful goal by him. But this is the difference when you have a proper winger versus when you have someone like Rafinha or even Ferran when he plays on the wing too. This is the difference. And let's not forget, guys, Lamine Yamal is only 16 years old. He's a child. He's a freaking child. And he's already doing this at this young age. When this kid hits his prime, oh my God, not even his prime. When he hits 20, 21 years old, this guy's going to win Ballon d'Ors in the future. I have no doubt about it. I mean, his absolute brilliance. By the way, I've seen people comment in my videos saying Lamine is too slow. I'm not impressed by Lamine. Lamine is not that good. I'm telling you guys, sometimes the comments I read, it's like, I just want to boom, blow my brains out. Anyways, third goal, Joao Felix. Brilliant run by Joao Felix, and even more brilliant finish. My God, if Joao Felix played as hard and as intense as Ferran Torres, this guy would be absolutely unstoppable. Because I've criticized Joao Felix a lot in this channel, but I always start my criticism the same way by saying I think Joao Felix is one of the most talented players in Europe. There is no doubt about it. He's incredibly talented, incredibly skilled. Unfortunately, his work ethic is horrible. He's lazy. He doesn't want to work hard. He doesn't want to run. He tries his dribbles, and if they miss, they're like, oh, wow, someone else will get the ball, which is sad because in today's modern football, you can no longer depend just on your skills. This would have worked maybe 30 years ago, maybe the times of Pelé, maybe the times of Maradona. Today in modern football, you can be gifted, but you have to also work very, very hard. I think we first learned that with the Galácticos, with the Real Madrid Galácticos, where they had all these stars. They barely trained. They partied all the time because they were like, we're all skilled, There's a bunch of us. We could do whatever. They would just show up the game. They would take it like as a joke because, you know, there were so many skilled players. They figured out we could just get by on our skills, and they didn't win anything, right? Because skill alone is not enough in modern football. And that's what happens with Joao Felix. And if Joao Felix only worked as hard as or half as hard as Ferran Torres works on the field, that guy would be unstoppable. Because that finish that Joao Felix gave us in Barcelona's third goal, that's the kind of finish that only very, very few people can do. That's the finish that only the chosen ones can do. Man. But anyways, fourth goal, Lamine Yamal. Beautiful assist to Ferran Torres, who scores his hat trick. By the way, Ferran Torres, 100 matches with Barcelona. And what a way to celebrate 100 matches. Hat trick, great performance. Man of the match, in my opinion. Apparently, Liga think it was Isco, but I'm not surprised. But anyways, let's get back to the chat section. We'll do a few more comments, and then I want to talk about the lineup. I want to talk about a few more players. So let's see. Max says, to be honest, around the end, when everyone was trying to defend in the penalty box and De Jong motivating everyone reminded me of our last year defense. Masterclass performance by De Jong. But I don't think I even have to say it because I can't even recall the last bad match De Jong had. This guy's been having just ever since Xavi arrived, and that's one thing because a lot of times we like to criticize Xavi about him not getting the best out of his players. In many occasions, that's true, but not when it comes to Frenkie de Jong, because ever since Xavi arrived, Frenkie de Jong has been just absolutely spectacular. Xavi has done a great job and has found the secret of how to extract the best out of Frenkie. He might not do it with other players, or he might have failed other players, but not with Frenkie, because Frenkie, ever since he arrived in Barcelona, he never lived up to his full potential. Like, he was good, but he wasn't the Ajax Frenkie. He wasn't the Ajax Frenkie under, was he under Valverde? I think under Valverde or Setien or Koeman. Definitely the Ajax Frenkie, and even better than the Ajax Frenkie under Xavi. So I know we always like to say that Xavi doesn't get the best out of his players, but he has definitely gotten the best out of Frenkie de Jong. Let's see, what else? Barian says, better performance today, Mo. Still a long way to go, though. How do you rate Ferran's game today? I mean, I want to say, I would give him a 10 out of 10, but he had a few chances where he controlled the ball. He didn't have a great control, and the ball kind of got away from him. There was a couple of shots that he should have passed it instead, but, I mean, what else can you ask for? I mean, a freaking hat trick. Brilliant match by Ferran, giving us all he has. But anyways, let's see. Ovi says, I see people talking already about Roque being a flop. My friend, the problem is, obviously he's not a flop. He's just arrived. He hasn't even been in Barcelona for a month. I think this is what, his third match that he's played, or fourth match, with every other match him playing 7-8 minutes. These days it's better if you just tune out people's comments, because when a team is doing bad, people want to find a culprit. They want to find a scapegoat. And most people don't have the analytical ability to understand what's going on with the team, which is fine, right? This is why coaches and technical staffs and scouts get paid millions of dollars, because there's only a very, very small portion of the population that knows how to look at a game and say, this is what's going on wrong, right? Very few people can do that. So it's fine. Most people can, and that's fine. It's a skill that not everybody has. But the problem is, with a lot of times when people lack that skill and they still need to find a culprit, so they just start throwing, excuse my language, about shit at the wall and hoping something sticks. Oh, it's Vitor Roque, he's a flop. Oh, I've heard Pedri sucks. I've heard Gabi sucks. I've heard Lamine sucks. I've heard Araujo sucks. I mean, I've heard some crazy shit, because, again, people want a culprit, and since they cannot analyze or critically analyze exactly what's going on, they just throw whatever they can throw. So it's better if you just tune those people out. Obviously, Vitor Roque is not a flop. He just arrived. Anyways, let's get back and talk about the lineup that Xavi used today. And I'll make this bigger for you so you can see it. But I have to say this. Very happy with Xavi's courage today when it comes to the lineup, because I feel like in previous matches, Xavi lacked a lot of courage in making tough decisions in benching certain players or playing certain players. Not today. I think Xavi took a lot of courageous decisions. First of all, starting Cubarsi, great decision. I'll talk about him a little bit more, but I'm just going to talk in general terms. Starting Lamine Yamal, very courageous, great decision. Lewandowski was not doing much. Boom, bench him, bring in Vitor Roque. Joao Felix has been lazy, not working hard. Boom, bench him, bring in Ferran Torres. Even though obviously Joao Felix is 10 times, 100 times more skilled than Ferran Torres, but Xavi Hernandez sending a very clear message. Look, you might be as skilled and talented as anyone else, but if you're not going to work hard, you're going to the bench. Start Ferran Torres. Very courageous decisions. I like it by Xavi. I like that Xavi's doing this. I don't know if it's because Deco is now helping him with these tough decisions, but nonetheless, very happy that he took the tough decisions of starting Cubarsi, starting Lamine, benching Lewandowski when he wasn't doing much, and benching Joao Felix because he hasn't been up to par. Very, very happy with that. But let's start talking about individual players. Of course, Iñaki Peña in goal, substituting Ter Stegen, who's injured. We had on the right Jules Koundé with Araujo and Cubarsi as the pair of center-backs, and Balde on the left. I have to say, in the first goal, there seems to be a lot of miscommunication between Iñaki Peña and Ronald Araujo. And I think it might be because Araujo has, of course, for the past 2-3 seasons that he's been with the first team, he's only played with Ter Stegen, because Iñaki, when Xavi took over, Iñaki wasn't even playing the Copa del Rey, which is he's supposed to. So I think there's a lot of miscommunication between them. And I think that's why, because Araujo is so used to playing with Ter Stegen. I hope that gets fixed, and I hope that gets better as time goes by, because that first goal was definitely a big miscommunication between the two. Plus, Araujo's kind of going through a bad moment right now. I'm sure he'll bounce back from it. Araujo is undoubtedly the best center back in Europe, so no, we shouldn't sell him. That'd be a very dumb thing to do. But hopefully that gets fixed soon. Pau Cubarsi. Let's talk about Pau Cubarsi, because, ladies and gentlemen, we have an absolute gem in the Barca Athletic. He had a great match against Unionistas when he came in for Andreas Christensen. He earned his starting position today, and he did not disappoint whatsoever. Let's not forget Unionistas, third division team. So you could say, okay, well, yeah, he did good against them. It's a third division team. But today, first start with the team against a first division team, against a tough opponent, tough stadium. And this guy handled it like he's been playing with the first team for years. And let's not forget, Cubarsi is 16 years old. This guy is still a child. He will be 17 tomorrow. So what a way to celebrate a birthday. But absolute empirical performance by Cubarsi. Tackles, blocks, interceptions, defending against these first division team players who've been there playing for years. And this guy was unfazed, was not scared, was not nervous. He was playing against these first division team players like he has been playing against them his whole life. Empirical performance by Cubarsi. Guys, we're very, very lucky that we have that kind of academy that we have, where we can have people like Araujo and Koundé and Christensen and Inigo on the first team, and still have an academy that has people like Pau Cubarsi, Mika Faye, not really a academy product, but nonetheless, the fact that we can have players like that just ready to step up with the first team, absolutely amazing. Great performance by Cubarsi. More lineup. Let's get back to the lineup. Midfield. Gundogan, Frankie, and Pedri. Undoubtedly, I think this will be the starting lineup for the rest of the season. And I have to say, very impressed with the three, because for the first time in this season, all three of them worked out well together. Because we've had matches where, Pedri had a really good match, Frankie had a good match, maybe Ilka had a good match, but it was always like individual good performances. But today, all three played really good individually, but all three played really good together. For the first time, we had a cohesive midfield. that understood each other, that read each other well, that had good chemistry, that did a really good job pushing forward, but also really good job coming back and defending, really good transitions. And for the first time, our midfield was not so porous as other matches. And again, really happy that the three are integrating really well together. Front three, of course, we had Lamine, Lewandowski, and Ferran. Lamine Yamal, masterclass by the youngster. I can't wait to see what he says. I already talked about him. I don't want to be repetitive. Ferran Torres, hat trick. What else is there to say? Lewandowski didn't do much. Very happy that Xavi took the tough decision of benching him and bringing in Vitor Roque, who for the first time has gotten his first 30 minutes. Of course, he's still adapted to Barcelona, still adapting to Spanish football. He's still getting back into shape. I reported about that in a previous video. He was apparently out of shape because he was injured for 3 months. He came back, played a few minutes with Atletico Paranaense, then he took another break to get married for the Christmas, then traveling to Barcelona. So he's still not fully fit, but with time he will. But first 30 minutes for Vitor Roque, good way to continue, integrating him. And no, he's not a flop. He's just arrived. Anyways, let's get back and talk about the comment section, and then we will talk about one of the biggest robberies that I've seen in recent years that was perpetrated by Real Madrid today. Absolute disgrace. But let's see. ASAP says, it is interesting at why the whole squad is in bad form. There must be something to change and higher up the morale of the players. I hope this kind of win gives players more confidence. I think so too. I think the teams took a step forward against Unionistas. It was still not a great performance, but the team looked a little more motivated than previous matches. And then today they built upon that, and they looked even more and more motivated. Hopefully they can continue building and building and building, and hopefully they can keep getting better and better and better, and we can revert the situation. I think the team needed a wake-up call. Maybe that El Clasico defeat was a wake-up call, because a lot of people, like when they criticize me, when I say things about Xavi, bad about Xavi, like I've said before, apparently people are too sensitive for criticism. But every time I've criticized Xavi these past few days or past few weeks, people have gone crazy, like, oh, just because Barcelona lost against Real Madrid, it doesn't mean that. Look, my position was never that Xavi sucks and his team sucked because they lost against Real Madrid. My position was that Xavi sucks and the team sucks because they've been sucking the whole season. Because they've been playing bad the whole season. My opinion was not based on one match, because you cannot base an opinion on one match. Just because a team plays one good match does not mean they're great. The same way, just because a team plays one bad match doesn't mean they're horrible. But when you have a series of bad matches, yes, you're horrible. Or a series of good matches, yes, you're good. So my opinion was never about, oh, just because we lost against Real Madrid, Xavi sucks. No, Xavi sucks because we've been losing and we've been performing horribly for a very, very long matches. So hopefully we can continue to build upon this, and hopefully that loss against the Clásico Madrid was the turning point to revert things, because this team has been struggling this whole season, not just that one match. All right, one more, and then we will talk about one more thing. Let's see, what else? Ella says Vitor Roque has that hunger that has been lacking in Lewy. Yes, absolutely. He's 18 years old. He just made his breakthrough in football. He just came from Brazil into a European team. Of course, he's hungry. He's motivated. He wants to prove himself. And we needed that. We needed that because, Lewandowski, as skilled as he might be, as accomplished and talented he might be, he's at the end of his career. He's won everything there is to win. So it's not the same hunger as someone who's 18, who has yet to win anything and who has yet to prove himself, right? So we needed that. We needed that hunger on a team. And hopefully that Vitor Roque's hunger not only helps the team, but also helps Lewandowski, because now Lewandowski is going to feel the pressure. Hey, someone is right behind me, like that can take my spot. I need to step it up. All right, let's see. ASAP says, Mo, do you really think it's time to sack Xavi this season? It's his third season and with limited signings. First of all, I've said it many times before. I'm not in favor of switching coaches midway through season. So no, if we're gonna change coaches, I'm in favor of that at the end of the season, not right now. Limited signings, my friend, we have not had limited signings. We have spent, I think, something like 200 or 300 million euros to sign players for Xavi. The club has sold assets to sign players for Xavi. The board of directors, including Laporta, has had to put money out of his own pocket twice to sign players for Xavi. They brought him most of the players that he has asked for. Jules Koundé, that was Xavi's request. Rafinha, that was Xavi's request. Lewandowski, that was Xavi's request. Iñigo Martinez, that was Xavi's request. Andreas Christensen, that was Xavi's request. Ilkay Gundogan, that was Xavi's request. All the players that came before them that are no longer here, Dani Alves, Aubameyang, Adama Traoré, Ferran Torres. We've signed a lot of players. Joao Cancelo, we've signed a lot of players. We've spent a lot of money to appease Xavi. We did not sign Silva, who he wanted, or Subimendi, because we couldn't afford it. But we've brought in a lot of players that Xavi has requested. So this whole limited thing, I don't know if it's just a theory that's emerged on Twitter, because I've noticed when people start making up an excuse, it's always the same excuse, and that gets repeated over and over again. And it's always it happens at the same time. So I think someone somewhere on Twitter says something, and then everybody just starts repeating it. Like, for example, there was a while where everybody kept saying that the reason why the team is underperforming is because Dembele, Jordi Alba, and Piqué left, which is absolutely mind-blowing to even repeat that, because Jordi Alba was not playing. He was always benched because Balde benched him. Piqué was never playing because, well, he was slow, he sucked, he was too busy cheating on his wife. I don't know. And then Dembele spent half of his last season injured. And the people who are saying the reason why our season sucks is because we lost Dembele are the same people who, back when Dembele was here, they were saying, get him out, he sucks. So sometimes I feel like these excuses just somehow spread on Twitter and just people just repeat them. They don't even look into it. Let me see how true this is. Let me verify this claim. No, I just read it. It sounds good. Let me just repeat it. All right. Let's talk about two things I want to talk about refereeing. The first thing is Real Betis' first goal. A lot of people are saying it was foul on Pedri. That should have been goal. Should have been allowed. I didn't think it was. I think Socrates gets to the ball first, and then Pedri kicks the bottom of the foot of Socrates. So I don't think it was a foul. Some people are saying it is. Let me know in the comment section if you guys think or not. But speaking of referees, ladies and gentlemen, today we just witnessed one of the biggest robberies this season. And that's to say a lot, because it's been a lot in favor of Real Madrid. But today's robbery was absolutely disgusting. I mean, Almeria were up 2-0 against Real Madrid at the halftime. Real Madrid, first goal. Oh, penalty kick. This shouldn't have been a penalty. Awarded to Real Madrid, 2-1. Second goal, Vinicius Jr. scores a handball, scores the goal with his arm. Also allowed 2-2. Almeria score. VAR disallows a proper goal. And then, to top it all off, three VAR calls that were wrong and controversial. But then to top it all off, the refs give Real Madrid 16 minutes of added time. So it's like, all right, you guys are tied 2-2. You obviously need the victory. Go ahead, play on. Once you score, we'll end it. Take however long you want to take. 16 fucking minutes of added time, which was plenty of time for Real Madrid to score the third goal and win 2-3. And then on top of that, they have the audacity and the shamelessness of celebrating like they just won the Champions League when they should be embarrassed how they won. And I'm sorry, if you're a Real Madrid fan watching right now and you celebrated that win, I'm honestly embarrassed for you, because what we saw was an absolute fucking disgrace. And this has been going on all the Liga season. I'm actually thinking about making a video about every bad call Every PK that has been gifted to Real Madrid this season, every penalty kick that Real Madrid committed that was not given to the opposing team. But now, 3 VAR calls awarding Real Madrid 2 illegal goals and disallowing a total legal goal for Almeria, and then giving them 16 minutes of added time so they can score the third one. Absolute fucking disgrace. This La Liga is going to the shit because they cannot comprehend how Barcelona, a team who was supposedly going bankrupt, who didn't have money, who was finished, who could not sign anyone, won La Liga, and the people in power, who most of them are Madridistas, and this is a fact. I've talked about this many times before. You can look it up. Most of the people in charge of La Liga, most of the people in charge of the committee of referees, most of the people in charge of the Royal Spanish Football Federation, and most referees are either former Real Madrid board of directors, former Real Madrid players, or current Real Madrid members of the club. That's a fact. It's not an opinion. So I think all these people are losing their shit at the fact that Barcelona, a team that was supposedly done and finished in the ruins, won La Liga last season, and they're doing everything in their power to make sure that doesn't happen. And what's going on, it's, again, excuse my language, a fucking disgrace. And if La Liga doesn't do something about this, it's going to be the worst La Liga in the top 5. It's already dropped to 3rd. It used to be number 1. Premier League surpassed it. Now the Bundesliga, the fucking Bundesliga surpassed La Liga. A league that's been won by the same team for the last 100 years has no more viewership than La Liga. And this is exactly why. Because it's a fucking disgrace what's going on. It's embarrassing. And they're ruining La Liga. They're slowly suffocating La Liga because of their obsession of wanting one team to win. Anyways, let's do a few more comments and then we'll end the live stream. Great day again. Barcelona, Real Betis giving us an absolute show at the Villamarin. Great game by both teams. Lots of back and forth. 6 great goals. Great performance by Barcelona. Huge step forward. Hopefully we can keep building on this. And hopefully we can turn things around. We needed this win. I'm glad this win happened. And let's do a few more comments. And then we'll end the live stream. Let's see. Aritra says, I don't understand how on earth someone like Ancelotti can defend this disgrace. I don't either. At this point, all I can think of is the Real Madrid fans are honestly shameless. The fact that they can watch this Rob. There's one reporter, Manu Sainz, who's a big-time Real Madrid fan, who did tweet and said what had happened was embarrassing. So I guess there are Real Madrid fans out there who can save face, but I feel like most of them are just absolutely, at this point, just shameless. And they don't care. They don't care if La Liga is gifted to them. They don't care how it's gifted to them as long as they win. And then, but here's the thing. If you want to celebrate robberies like that, go for it. But then don't have the nerve of turning around and saying, Barcelona robbed trophies through the Enriquez Negreira, blah, blah, blah. Like, you really have the nerves and balls to celebrate robberies and then turn around and says Barcelona's the one robbed. Like, anyways, let's see. One more. Grandmaster Yoda says, Sergio Roberto saved us against Almeria. Referee saved Real Madrid against Almeria. Roberto, bigger than Real Madrid. I agree. Let's see. King Had says, Mo, the only thing I disagree with you is the penalty. Bullshit. That entire second half was bullshit. Joselu held the defender's hand before and pushed him. Vinny handball goal. Bullshit at a time. Fucking bullshit. And this has been going on all season, by the way. All freaking season. But this was definitely the biggest one. Let's see. Kogi says, and our toxic fans flaming our squad for playing bad against Almeria. My friend, Almeria is still the bottom team of La Liga. It's still a team that hasn't won a single match all season. I don't care how Real Madrid do against Almeria. I care about how Barcelona do against Almeria. And Barcelona shouldn't have played the way they played against Almeria when, again, Almeria is the worst bottom team in La Liga and Barcelona are supposedly one of the best clubs in the world. So this is not an excuse. Let's see. What else? Let's do. Oh, donation. I totally forgot about the donation. Sorry about that. But Toakin says, good work, Mo. Bisca Barça. Thank you, Toakin, for your donation. Bisca Barça indeed. And with that, we will end the live stream. Thank you guys for watching. 300 people watching. I think this is the highest we've had on the live stream. So thank you for that. Don't forget to drop a comment and like, subscription. All this helps the channel grow, especially the likes and comments. It prompts YouTube to recommend the video to other people who've never seen the channel. So please hit that like button. You don't have to drop any a crazy comment. It can just be a smiley face. I don't know, whatever you want. But appreciate you guys. You guys are the most wonderful YouTube community. I say that from the bottom of my heart. So thank you for tuning in. Bisca Barça. And let's celebrate this win and this huge step forward by the team. I will see you later tonight in the news video. And I'll say it again. Bisca Barça.